We've got a question.
I will
Good
direct
job.
this
Thank you.
at Andy. I'll actually ask Andrew because
Perfect.
you kind of came to 360 in an interesting way. So I'm wondering if you can share kind of how you discovered 360 and how this whole relationship started. With
Yeah,
yourself and the
I've been asked that question a few times actually, because it is kind of weird.
I didn't say weird.
I saw a van on the road, and it gets better. It gets better.
Wait, there's more. There's more.
At the time, I was just getting started in the AV industry, so we were doing home automation exclusively, some lighting control, cool stuff. And I saw an electrical contracting vehicle that had basically incorporated a lot of this stuff into its marketing effort. So I thought that was really neat and kind of new for this industry to see two typically and historically differing mentalities in a very similar world kind of coming together. So I think that day I went right to my laptop and I sent an email at the time because I was going to school for mechanical engineering and needed a job at some point. So yeah, that's how I basically found the business. And then through coordinating with Megan at first, I think I got a, we're not really hiring right now kind of thing. And then maybe 2 days later, it was like, actually, we would need you. And so basically the interview process was about 6 or 7 steak dinners and more than 1 case of beer. And from there, the relationship was kind of built, and we had a really good fit, and it was as good as I could have imagined it would be from just seeing a van.
For futons.
Not many experiences are that great with a van. It's been great, and I think we're accomplishing what we set out to do.
Yep.
And I'm really happy to be a part of it. So,
What drove me to go into business? As I worked for some larger companies over the years and felt that there was too much effort put on making money and not enough effort on the people that made the money. And I wanted a change for myself. I think that I was at a point, I was at a fork in the road. I was 30, in the early 30s, and I decided to get my master's, and I felt if I'm going to make the plunge, now is the time to do it. I'm not going to do it when I'm 40. It's too late at that point in our industry to actually really sink your teeth into. It takes at least 10 years to build this business. There were 7 years, just about, getting 7.5 years in, and I felt that it was now or never, and I made the plunge, and I understood that at that point, it wasn't, well, I think I'll try it. I've never been that way. I've always been, if you're going to do something, you may as well care and apply yourself, and I did. Pros and cons of being a business owner. I think the biggest pro is the flexibility. It provides a lot of flexibility in your day. But the con, and so that's the biggest pro, and the con is the amount of hats that you have to wear. And as an electrician, I've never taken a business course. I've had a great mentor, and I've had great mentors over the years, and I still do. But it's a matter of understanding that you don't have to be the expert in all of these different facets. You have to surround yourself with the experts. And so the con is, for a large part, and still to this day, I work a lot of hours. That's the con. You're working day, you're working nights, and you're accommodating to all of the people that are pulling from those strings. And so the good thing behind that is the relationships that you build along the way. So I guess it comes back to it's about the people. And I think one of the biggest benefit of being in business is the people. It's the people that you're surrounding, not only the staff, but the relationships that you make along the way. I'll say this. The only reason why I actually did follow through and go into business is because I had the back-end support from my wife's knowledge and experience in the entrepreneurial world. And if I didn't have the confidence that the back end of my business was going to be taken care of fully, I wouldn't have done it. And that's just me being honest, because it's the anxiety that you would get from not having that on your hip is having that, the knowledge on the back end I think most businesses fail because of that. And I knew that. I've seen many businesses over the years fail because of that. And when I started this, I certainly did, well, I don't think anybody ventures into business trying to fail, or the intention to, but I certainly did not want that. And I think if I were to give the best piece of advice to somebody starting a business, ensure yourself that you have a solid back end to your business. And that is paramount in any business. Ensure that the back end is taken care of.
I hear from a lot of small business owners that when they hit a ceiling as they're growing a business, but then they're reluctant to let it go with the hats they're wearing. And that's how they stop growing, and they run into the same cycle and circle.
The business chasm.
Yeah, so how did you manage it?
I think you need several components to make it all work. It's not one thing. It's a series of money. I think finances, if you set yourself up properly, I think having the right amount of working capital, I think that's in terms of my personal experience as I grew the business, my biggest hindrance was the finances, is having working capital and being able to put some money to marketing, to actually market your business. If you can't market your business, you don't even have a business. You have a hobby. And that's the difference between, and I go back to the profit. If you don't make profit, you have a hobby. If you make profit, now you have a business. And I think having the money to be able to build the business, hire people. And a lot of companies don't hire because they don't have the cash flow to actually pay for payroll. And being able to understand all of these moving parts, there's so many moving parts. Every hat is a moving part in the business. And understanding that, I think the other thing is knowing what you don't know. And when you're starting a business, you don't know a lot of things. So educating yourself to find out the things that you don't know and taking that information and hiring the right people to fill in the areas and the gaps that have a void. And I think that was my recipe. I found a challenge and I tried to fill that challenge. And how am I going to do that? What is it going to take me? Is it going to take me money? Is it going to take me trying to find the right people? I think it comes down to being surrounded with good people and making good relationships.
I think just as an aside to that as well that I could add is, it's been kind of a unique position for me to watch Andy grow the business, and I would say that the most successful that we ever have been in growing the business is when he's in control of that and not working and checking in every day on the work that we're doing. So I think that's part
true.
of the success of that, and we've seen real evidence of that, is that we get more work when Andy, as Shane might say, isn't working, right? but I think realistically we can all appreciate.
Hey Shane, there's a bus that just went by.
But we can all appreciate that just because someone's not turning a screwdriver or whatever it may be, that there are far more important things to running a business, and I think that Andy does a really good job of doing that. I think that's something that has been getting better over the years, actually. And I think that it's been really neat for myself to recognize that and to learn from some of that as well. So.
Yeah, and to continue to that's the hat that I was actually able to pass on. And when I made the commitment, actually this year, 2017 is the year that I made the commitment to the group and said, let me build the business. It's very difficult for me to put on a pouch, answer emails, phone calls, and actually be efficient at what I'm doing. And you get pulled from all these directions, and I'm not actually doing anything. It's worse actually being in the field, trying to do something, and getting distracted and getting pulled away and answering questions and emails. And I don't know how many emails a day that I have to answer. If I was in the field managing that, I wouldn't be successful, because I wouldn't be doing anything right. I wouldn't be doing it well. And so knowing what you don't know, allowing people to do and allowing me to build, and staying true to the vision that you have, I think is critical.
So when you switched over
To service, yes.
Other than getting a bigger line of credit, what was the best advantage?
That's an easy one. I think the best advantage was that the financial institution actually recognized the importance of the relationship between them and the business owner. And so when I walk in, I'm not a number. They actually know who I am. I actually walk there, I have a relationship with a lot of the people in here. And if I go back to that other bank, there's not a soul. And so working on a smaller scale, working with somebody that actually cares about the growth of your business, which I believe they genuinely do, we wouldn't be here if they didn't. And they put this on. They gave me the opportunity to actually speak to people and tell them my story. And I think that speaks in volume in terms of the relationship that I have with Service.
That's great.
I think I call success an umbrella, and it's filled with, it's buried with components of different things that allow you to be successful. And it's not money. Money is a component of success. The people are a component of success. The relationships that you have are components. If you have all of these things, you'll be successful. I don't quantify success being my business reached $10 million, and so that makes me successful. Those are just words. It means nothing. You might not have made a cent. You didn't make any profit. So are you really successful? Your staff might hate you. So does that make you? So I think there's a different recipe and it's different for everyone. And I know I might be a little bit of an anomaly, but I see the business and being successful as not the grow as fast as you can and be the big company. I don't think that's success at all. I think I'd rather be small. I don't think I envision my business being any more than 8 people, I think, total. And I don't think it'll ever be any bigger than that. And I think that we're successful today. So I don't need to be a $10 million business to be successful, and I need to surround myself with good people. I think that's what success is, to be honest.
So you've made it.
Well, I suppose I did. And thank you for being part of that.